A young girl named Ruby enjoys lunch. Suddenly, a blonde classmate freezes in distress. As panic spreads, Ruby watches the chaos. The girl collapses lifeless on the floor. This unexplained tragedy claims many young victims. Desperate parents gather for answers. News reports flood in about a disease. The president rushes to a hospital. He addresses the public as a father. Doctors tirelessly treat his infected son. The boy is recovering from the virus. The president urges trust in the cure. Before the outbreak, Ruby celebrates her birthday. Her loving parents present a small gift. She happily unwraps a bright new keychain. She tells her mother not to fear. She cherishes the trinket in her bed. That night, she sneaks into their room. She gently touches her sleeping mother's hand. Startled, her mother wakes up in confusion. The next morning, Ruby enters the kitchen. Her mother turns around with pure terror. She completely fails to recognize her daughter. Fearing the stranger, she locks the garage. Ruby frantically bangs on the door, crying. She sits alone, feeling utterly abandoned. Hazmat-suited officials arrive to take her away. Playgrounds across the country sit eerily empty. Ruby is loaded onto a crowded bus. Armed guards transport the surviving children safely. They arrive at Thurmond Air Force Base. The kids are herded inside by military. When one boy disobeys, a guard shoves. The boy falls hard on the concrete. Vicious guard dogs bark as they process. Ruby sits on a medical examination chair. A cold doctor prepares to assess her. He explains the danger classification system. A massive scanner lowers over her face. She stares up as it reads her. The monitor flashes a lethal orange warning. Knowing oranges are executed, she recalls violence. She grabs the doctor's arm, activating powers. Her eyes glow orange to alter perception. The doctor kneels, convinced she is green. The system declares her safely green. Years pass, and she blends in well. The vast camp operates like a prison. Teenagers march under constant strict surveillance. Ruby silently works in the boot factory. She keeps her head down to hide. A cruel guard named McManus inspects her. He harasses her, suspecting a hidden secret. He demands she look him in eyes. Another brave girl tries to distract McManus. McManus angrily strikes the girl to ground. Ruby watches helplessly as her friend falls. The guards initiate a high-frequency sound test. The piercing noise drops them to knees. Ruby wakes up in the dim infirmary. A compassionate doctor named Kate checks her. Kate assures Ruby she is finally safe. She reveals a plan to escape tonight. A suspicious guard arrives to question them. Kate insists Ruby needs overnight observation. The guard glares through the fence. Alone, Ruby finds a secret hidden note. The note warns they know she's orange. Another doctor confirms her dangerous test results. Realizing her execution is imminent, she flees. She navigates the red-lit corridors in panic. Kate intercepts her with a quick disguise. They sprint through the rain to vehicle. They reach the gate as alarms blare. Kate tries to bluff past the sentry. The stubborn guard shines his light inside. Ruby presses her hand against the window. She uses her powers to manipulate him. The guard lowers his weapon, fully convinced. The heavy gates open and they drive. Ruby sleeps peacefully, away from the camp. She wakes up to see the world. She smiles, believing they are going home. Kate sadly explains the grim new reality. There are no children left anywhere. Kate reveals she works for Resistance Group. The Children's League protects kids with powers. Ruby listens, realizing life won't be normal. They drive toward a designated safe house. Kate hands Ruby a metallic tracking pendant. She instructs her to press for emergencies. The pendant will signal League to rescue. They pull into an abandoned gas station. A League operative named Rob waits there. Kate updates Rob on their daring escape. Rob greets Ruby like a friendly ally. He hands her a bag of clothes. Ruby takes the clothes, still very wary. She steps into the ruined store. She quickly sheds her hated green uniform. Dressed in red, she senses a presence. A young mute girl named Zoo watches. Zoo uses electrical powers to blast doors. Zoo sprints outside toward a rusted van. Ruby realizes the League might be unsafe. She chases after Zoo to join her. She frantically pounds on the van door. The kids inside finally let her in. Kate and Rob realize Ruby slipped away. Inside the van, two boys question her. The driver, Liam, speeds down the highway. Ruby explains she's running from the League. The boys panic as a car approaches. A ruthless bounty hunter aims her gun. She fires, shattering the van's rear window. The kids scream and duck from gunfire. The bounty hunter aggressively rams their car. Kate and Rob join the chaotic chase. Liam struggles to keep the van straight. Ruby watches the pursuing vehicles close in. The three cars weave dangerously across road. Liam desperately uses his telekinesis to rip. The road crumbles beneath the hunter's tires. Her car crashes violently, stopping her pursuit. The van escapes to freedom completely. The pursuing bounty hunters violently crash their vehicles. This allows the teens to escape in their van, but Ruby remains anxious about the dangerous road ahead. They later stop to rest and fix a flat tire. Zoo happily rummages through clothes inside the messy van. The boys step outside to discuss their route. Ruby feels overwhelmed by the constant running. She decides she must leave to go home, but Liam quickly runs after her to stop her. He desperately pleads with her to stay with them. He tells her about a hidden sanctuary called East River. He promises her that it is a safe place. They later sit down together for a calm meal. Liam playfully floats a piece of bread to Ruby. Zoo happily watches the two of them bonding. The group finally enjoys a moment of peace. As night falls, they continue driving through the dark. Liam suddenly brings up his painful past with the League. He warns Ruby that they are incredibly dangerous. The boys loudly argue about trusting them. Liam insists that they made the right choice to run. He firmly believes the League will only use them. Ruby listens intently to his troubling story. She begins to understand his deep mistrust. The group drives further away from their pursuers. Meanwhile, armed men violently interrogate a terrified doctor. They brutally demand to know where the fugitives went. A mysterious masked figure suddenly enters the room. The silent figure prepares to reveal their true power. The ruthless commander orders his men to continue the hunt. The exhausted teens eventually find an empty motel. Ruby looks through her bag in the bathroom. She softly holds her old childhood keychain, but a painful memory from the camp suddenly flashes back. Liam quietly knocks on the bathroom door. He gently offers her some clean clothes. Ruby smiles at his small but kind gesture. Chubbs works on a map while Zoo sleeps. Liam stands awkwardly outside the door. Ruby finally steps out looking refreshed. Later, Ruby experiences a terrifying nightmare. She dreams of the brutal camp where she was held. She remembers the horrifying electric fences. In the chaos, she sees other kids being attacked. Liam bravely carries a child through the danger. Ruby suddenly wakes up in a cold sweat. She frantically checks on Zoo sleeping next to her. Chubbs remains asleep across the room. Ruby tries to calm her racing heart. The next morning, Zoo shows Ruby a bright red dress. Zoo excitedly hopes she will wear it. Outside, Liam works on disguising their van. He paints a fake cleaning company logo on it. Ruby approaches him wearing the beautiful red dress. He is immediately stunned by her appearance. They share a sweet and shy moment together. She decides to help him finish painting the van. They suddenly spot a suspicious man leaving a room. Realizing they are exposed, they panic. They quickly jump into the van to escape. They drive away nervously but stay hopeful. Zoo shows off her playful drawings in a notebook. The teens laugh together, feeling like a real family. They soon arrive at an abandoned shopping mall. They cautiously enter the dark, empty building. Zoo joyfully picks out clothes from the racks. Chubbs tries on some funny glasses. The kids happily play around the deserted stores. Ruby finds a book she has always loved. As they explore further, Ruby feels something is wrong. Liam senses danger and turns around. He suddenly tackles Ruby to the floor. Masked attackers unexpectedly drop down from the ceiling. The group frantically scrambles to hide. The ruthless hunters surround them completely. Zoo bravely steps forward to defend her friends. She releases a massive burst of electricity. The bright flash temporarily blinds the attackers. The teens finally confront the mysterious group. They realize these are not bounty hunters. They are just other kids trying to survive. The two groups cautiously decide to share them all. Later that night, they sit around a campfire. A boy tells them about the safe haven. The group rests in the quiet mall. Ruby peacefully reads her book to Zoo. She soon realizes everyone else has fallen asleep. She stays awake, keeping a close watch over them. Chubbs sits alone trying to crack a code. He believes it contains the location of East River. Ruby quietly joined him to help solve the puzzle. They carefully examine the mysterious symbols. They match the symbols to a hidden frequency. Ruby suddenly realizes it might be a radio station. They frantically search for a working radio. They hope to find the hidden sanctuary signal. Chubbs nervously turns the dial on a small radio. They desperately listen for any clear sound. Chubbs carefully adjusts the static frequency. Suddenly, a clear voice cuts through the noise. They finally hear the secret broadcast coordinates. The message tells them exactly where to go. Ruby smiles, realizing they found their safe haven. The group excitedly hits the road again. They drive through the night toward their new destination. Liam smiles at Ruby, feeling hopeful for their future. They finally arrive at Ruby's old hometown. Ruby steps out of the van, feeling anxious. Liam tries to comfort her before she goes. She nervously prepares to see her parents again. Liam gives her a reassuring look. She takes a deep breath and walks away. Liam watches her walk down the empty street. She finally reaches her childhood home. She peeks through the window at her mother. A sudden memory reveals that she erased their minds. Her parents have completely forgotten she exists. Heartbroken, she turns away from the house. She runs crying back to her only real friends. Liam is waiting for her in the field. He gently holds up her old childhood keychain. He promises that he will always be there. She tearfully takes the keychain from his hand. She realizes that her true family is right here. They stand together, ready to face the future. Liam reassures her with a gentle promise. A tender moment brings them closer together, but he quickly steps away. She smiles, feeling a bit relieved. A brief moment of peace settles in. Suddenly, a ruthless bounty hunter attacks them. The woman forces Liam to the ground. She plans to sell him for cash. Liam tries to negotiate their freedom. The hunter refuses his desperate offer. With Ruby knocked out, hope fades fast. The other kids are also tied up. Surprisingly, the hunter frees Ruby instead. She delivers a harsh dose of reality, warning her to never trust anyone here. The hunter then leaves them behind. Ruby is left reeling from the encounter. Later, she rests with a heavy heart. The group takes a break outdoors. Ruby finally decides to come clean. She confesses her true orange status. The boys are stunned by this revelation. She admits her powers are highly dangerous, explaining how she accidentally alters minds. Liam processes her deepest, darkest fear. Still, they refuse to abandon her now. He accepts her dangerous abilities completely. They pack up their things to leave. The journey ahead remains very uncertain. They continue walking through the green fields. The group walks along a quiet road. They eventually reach some abandoned train tracks. The path leads them to a crossroad. They notice a hidden message on the ground. The kids are ambushed by armed soldiers. They are forced to their knees immediately. The leader recognizes Liam right away. Liam realizes they found the safe haven. The group arrives at a bustling camp. Children are living freely here together. They finally meet the charismatic camp leader. He warmly welcomes the new arrivals. He already knows who they are. The leader seems friendly and inviting. He promises them a safe place. That night, a lively party begins. Everyone celebrates their newfound freedom. Ruby and Liam watch the festivities. They share a quiet conversation together. The atmosphere is joyful and relaxed. Liam asks Ruby to dance with him. She hesitates but eventually agrees. They share an intimate dance together. Liam compliments her beauty under the lights. The two share a romantic moment. They hold each other close. The leader watches them from afar. The next morning is quiet and peaceful. Ruby goes to speak with the leader. He tells her about his dark past. He reveals he was a test subject. His father forced him into cruel experiments. The doctors claimed they cured him, but he knew it was a lie. He lost his entire family. The memories still haunt him deeply. He wants to teach Ruby to control her powers. He promises to help her master them. Outside, life in the camp continues. The kids help with daily chores. The leader shows Ruby his abilities. He wants to unlock her true potential. The camp seems like a perfect utopia, but the guards maintain strict order. The leader shares his vision for the future. He dreams of a better world for them. Ruby listens carefully to his plans. He believes they must fight back. Ruby questions his aggressive approach. He insists they need to be strong. He urges her to embrace her nature. He promises to teach her everything. Ruby remembers her painful past clearly. The night she accidentally erased her parents' memory. She fears repeating that tragic mistake. The leader insists she has a special gift. He wants to look into her mind. Ruby feels overwhelmed by his intensity. He gently touches her face. He tries to unlock her hidden memories. Meanwhile, Liam senses something is wrong. He worries about Ruby's safety. He knows the leader is hiding something. Liam decides to confront him. He goes looking for Ruby. Ruby runs away, feeling totally confused. She needs time to process everything. She talks to her friend about her fears. He tries to comfort her, but she is still unsure of herself. She worries about the leader's true intentions. They sit by the lake together. Suddenly, the leader's dark secret is revealed. He is secretly communicating with the enemy. He plans to betray the entire camp. Ruby discovers his treacherous plot. She realizes the camp is a trap. The leader confronts her about her discovery. He tries to manipulate her again. He wants her to join him. He forcefully enters her mind. He shows her his terrifying power. He tries to brainwash her completely. Ruby struggles to fight back. He overpowers her mental defenses. He tries to erase Liam from her mind. Ruby violently pushes him away. She escapes his mental grasp. She desperately tries to warn Liam, but the leader is already hunting them down. They need to escape the camp immediately. The group gathers their things in the dark. They sneak out into the night. Suddenly, armed forces surround them. They are completely trapped now. The group is shocked by the ambush. Armed guards quickly surround the camp. Their friend reveals his true colors. He walks toward them with a smirk. He arrogantly mocks their futile resistance. He yells to assert his dominance. He tries to justify his betrayal. The guards aggressively subdue the teens. The traitor tries to manipulate her. She glares at him with glowing eyes. Suddenly, lightning strikes the armored vehicles. Military helicopters swoop into the camp. Soldiers fast rope down into the chaos. The panicked kids scatter in all directions. A girl fights back with her powers. Fire-breathing teens unleash massive flames. The camp becomes a blazing inferno. The soldiers ruthlessly attack the kids. They try to hide from the gunfire. The traitor casually walks through the fire. Explosions tear through the campsite. The remaining kids are rounded up. She watches the destruction in horror. They desperately try to pull away. She realizes they cannot win this fight. Heavily armed soldiers block their escape. The guards aim their rifles at them. The traitor steps forward to intervene. She confronts him without backing down. He confidently approaches her again. He smiles, thinking he has broken her. A helicopter spotlights the standoff. He looks up at the blinding light. The helicopter suddenly crashes down. The fiery crash sends everyone flying. A massive fireball engulfs the area. They tumble down a steep hill. They survey the ruined camp from afar. The water tower burns in the night. They retreat to a quiet lake. One of them is severely burned. She tries to comfort her dying friend. She holds him as he slips away. She activates a tracker to get help. They wait anxiously for a rescue. The boy finally reunites with them. He realizes how bad the situation is. He looks at his friend in despair. He sits down, feeling completely helpless. She admits calling the League for help. He is shocked by her desperate choice. He warns her about the ruthless League. She insists they had no other option. They sit together in the gloomy woods. The League agents finally locate them. They are taken to a secure safe house. She wakes up in an unfamiliar room. She realizes she is a prisoner again. She sits up, feeling trapped and anxious. The League leaders come to speak. She refuses to trust their promises. She argues about their true motives. They tell her the boy must leave. She angrily defends him against their plans. They insist he is too dangerous. She listens with a heavy heart. They will never be free here. She looks at them with pure hatred. She realizes she must let him go. She finally accepts the painful truth. She sees him one last time. She hugs him tightly from behind. She rests her head on his shoulder. He smiles, completely unaware of her plan. They sit together by the large window. They look out at the peaceful trees. He talks about their future together. He promises they will be happy. She listens to his sweet words. Tears stream down her face silently. She knows she has to erase him. He tells her he loves her. She looks at him, heartbroken and desperate. They close their eyes to kiss. She leans in to kiss him goodbye. She looks into his eyes once more. He tells her he loves her again. She prepares to erase his memories. They share a long, bittersweet kiss. Their beautiful memories begin to fade. The past vanishes into thin air. Everything they shared is now gone. She cries as the memory wipe finishes. He pulls away, completely confused. He no longer knows who she is. The league leaders enter the room. He looks at them like complete strangers. She walks away without looking back. She leaves the room broken-hearted. He turns to leave the safe house. He walks out the door to freedom. She watches him go from the window. He walks down the empty road alone. He runs into the woods, safe now. She steps outside, ready to fight. She joins the resistance forces. He continues running toward his new life. The traitor stands with a massive army. She accepts a symbol of the rebellion. The kids raise their painted hands. She raises her hand to lead them.